Are you ready? Yeah. Cool. Are you ready? Awesome.
Whoa! Ouch! G'day, Aussie gamers. This is the Aussie Gamers Express Video Game Podcast. The podcast that brings you news, reviews, and video game themed fun. Get yourselves set. It's time to hand you over to your hosts, Lucas and Aaron, to display a complete disregard for political correctness.
Hello everyone, I am Lucas, or also known as LewkOne, and this is episode 116, and today is Thursday, the 3rd of March 2016. Also with me is Aaron, who's also known as Red. Welcome back to this week's show, my friend.
Thank you, I did live up to the Terminator's prophecy, and I am back.
Oh, lovely. Love it when you're back. Alright, so we've got another huge week. We've got heaps of games to talk about again. So before we start, here's this week's show in preview. First up will be video game discussion, and then video game news. And in the video game news, we will have PlayStation 4 Gives Us More, Call of Duty 2016 Rumours, Alan Wake's Quantum Break, Bandai Namco's Soul-like dungeon crawler, Naughty Dog puts on the Drakes, and Battlefield 5's Rumoured setting. After that we will do What's That Sound, and then we'll go back to the pub once again because we're all pissheads, and Red, unfortunately, you're the unlucky man. It's your shout again.
No, workers.
Sucked in. Red, kick off video game discussion.
Right, it's been said, done, everything else. Rainbow Six Siege, rah. I've put on 3 levels. It's Don Bradman cricket all over again. Though I have played Don Bradman cricket this week again, said and done, once again. Yeah, I've gone about 3-4 levels in Siege. It's a little bit slow now. Rory McIlroy, I lost all interest in the Platinum due to the challenges, but I found myself doing the challenges again for a couple of hours. I think it's just to try and understand what Nick's been saying, because he's been hammering them out. I wouldn't be surprised if I was to look in my friends list at the moment and see that he got the Platinum after we went to bed last night. So
yeah, well, he said he wasn't too far off the Platinum last time we spoke. Six
bloody challenges, which is, in the context of things, fuck all.
Yeah, wow.
We've played a few games of Rocket League together over consecutive nights.
Yeah, that game's getting hard.
Yeah, people are getting better, eh?
Yeah, I did alright yesterday on a couple of 1v1 ranked matches. So I was doing alright with that.
That's probably going to be your best bet for matchmaking, because it's just matching you up against one person of your skill.
Yeah.
Where when you play with us, or like I play with Roy, or you play with me, or vice versa, any combination of that, you're normally being matched with people that have played probably 300, 400, 500 matches more.
Yeah, that's it. So, and that's what I've noticed when I'm playing 1v1. The skill level between myself and the other player is generally fairly matched, which I'm very impressed with Phil Rocket League for doing this. I don't know if it's just been pure luck, but the games that I've played, like, we both muff up the moves just as much as each other. Like, my opponent is you know, just as goofy as I am, missing the ball when we, you know, are right in front of it and stuff like that. So it's
yeah,
actually...
well, you're not so hard on yourself. You don't feel so derpy if someone else is making the same ratio of mistakes as you are. You can be a little less hard on yourself. Instead of you miss it, then they pounce and it's a goal, and every time you fuck up it's a goal, which compounds frustration. Yeah,
and I find that I'm actually working my strategies around their mistakes as well. Like,
oh, you got to on 1v1, yeah.
Oh, because you've got to cross the ball for yourself. So I'll smash it into the corner, and then I'll quickly piss off around to the centre of the goal. And even though the player might be in between the ball and me, I'll sort of just go in assuming they're going to miss it. And
you have to,
you know, and because we're both of similar abilities, like I'd probably miss it, they miss it just as much as I do, and it gives me an opportunity to score goals, and that's how I win.
Yeah, and success breeds a little bit of positivity as well.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's been fun.
Back to Dark Souls for about 3 hours this week. Dark Souls 2, that is. Scholar of the Fisted Sin. Well, I'm being fisted at the moment. I keep dying in the same fucking place, and it's like, you noob bread. I've beaten that place before because I've started a new character and everything like that a couple of weeks ago. Oh, fuck. Can be frustrating. It's like, fuck you. And then you get one more enemy in front of where you were last time. It's like, yes, I'm on my way from it. No, back to the start.
Dead.
Oh, it's just so unforgiving.
Yeah, well, Pat Snoogans, one of our blokes,
Yes.
he's played, he's had the opportunity to play Dark Souls 3. A lucky little bugger. So there's video on our YouTube channel of him doing that. There's 3 videos edited up differently. So one is an edit of his entire playthrough, which is about, from memory, I think it's culled down to about 7 minutes. I think that's about right. And then there's one with all his deaths trying to kill the boss that's in the area that he played through. And then another one. I beg your pardon?
Gundia.
If that's how you say it. And then, yeah, there's a last edit there of him fighting the boss and actually beating him. So, well done. I think he only died, like, 3 or 4 times to the boss. So, it's actually pretty impressive. Well done, Pat.
Yeah, look, the hype is real. I've seen a lot of videos, especially in the last 48 hours. I made myself some tea last night and actually snuck out into the lounge room and had my bowl, and I watched about 22 minutes of gameplay from a UK mob that I spent a bit of time watching. And even what we played at EV Expo last year, it's different. It looks a lot better, and it looks a lot more polished, and there's lighting effects and stuff that they probably couldn't have really optimized on the PS3 and the Xbox 360. So it looks a lot better, and I'm just a little bit more excited for it now.
To me, and this is no secret, they've sort of gone out and said that they have done this, but it looks a lot. It looks like it plays a lot more like Bloodborne.
Oh yeah, where Dark Souls 2 was remastered to the PS4, and they've mucked around with upping the res or the frames per second and everything like that. This is like Bloodborne, built for the PS4, the 60 frames and the 1080. So we are definitely going to feel the difference as a fan base of the Souls games. But if more like you, I know you've tried your Demon Souls and your Dark Souls ones and everything like that, but you really got a lot out of Bloodborne.
I did, yeah.
So you're probably going to get a whole lot more out of DS3. So
yeah, I'm
looking forward to getting the opinions of like the more newcomers to the series as opposed to the diehard fans like Weeksy.
Yeah. Now apparently it's locked to 30 frames, and I've had people explain to me why they had to do that, and at first, like, all the explanations I got just sounded like bullshit. Like,
cop-outs, yeah.
It doesn't really make any sense to me. I finally found a source that explained it with clarity, and it's a very simple answer, and it makes a lot of sense. Because originally I was told that it's locked at 30 frames because at 60 frames, the timing is all out for your combos and things like that. And I was thinking, that doesn't make any sense. Why would your timings be out because it runs smoother? Surely it would be better. But it made a lot more sense when it was explained that there's a very high chance of frame rate drops when they run it at 60 frames, and that will throw out your timing because you're playing at 60 frames expecting things to be happening at 60 frames because you'll be used to it. If it drops from 60 frames, that will throw you out because then, yes, the timing changes, right? Yes. Locking it at 30 frames reduces the chances of any frame drops because it is a lower spec, and that means for a more uniform gameplay element to it where it's only going to be that one frame rate, so you won't have the drops, and that won't throw you off because that's the last thing you want to do. That game's hard enough to play full stop, let alone battling system slowdowns. So that's the idea behind the 30 frame lock, and I'm happy for that. That's fine because 1080p with a 30 frame lock is not going to destroy a game for me. However, a 60 frame game that drops will break a game for me. I won't enjoy it because it'll be frustrating.
Especially at pivotal points.
Yeah, because if you're, you've got a boss and a couple of enemies around and it all gets hectic and you start swinging the camera around as you do, because you've got to look in all directions at once, that stuff will slow down. So if they've got to lock it at 30 to remove that, yeah, happy for that.
Yep, likewise, I concur.
Or you could just play it on PC and just beef it up.
Yeah, well, you'd be able to now, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Bastard.
Heh.
Hey. Ring. Now, you want to tell everyone about your platinum in the Smite beta?
How long did I spend on Smite?
Oh, 3/4 of a game. Well, you were interested for the 5 minutes of loading it.
Oh, yeah.
So, Rad, you want to come across and try Smite with me? Yeah, all right, man. I'll come across. I've played a couple of games and had a couple of rounds, so I kind of now grasp the concept, because I am a League of Legends noob, a Dota 2 noob, and Battle of the Storm, or whatever that bloody...
Heroes of the Storm?
Heroes of the Storm. I'm a complete noob to all of it. My computer won't run it properly. I tried once, it went into meltdown mode, so I'm like, fuck it, I'm not that interested anyway. So I got accepted for the closed beta, and they were auditioning out 2 codes, and Snoogan's got his, then you got yours, and I'm like, oh, bloody hell. I would like to try this out. So Snoogan sent me through his second one. I've got it installed, and then I in turn then got my email, so I shared them out. So it's a happy little community we've got running here. So tried that out. I enjoyed it to an extent. There's a lot to take in, and the fact that there's 50 plus playable characters on a free rotational basis, trying to get to know them all. That's obviously why they offer, for your real world currency, you can buy and unlock your own favourite gods or anything like that. But if you're not willing to put any money into it, it's going to be a constant uphill battle until you get each god on 2 or 3 different rotations that you've had enough time to play with them and absolutely understand them. And even then, trying to build a team that's effective, that's a lot of work, man. That's a lot of... No wonder these guys are paid millions upon millions of dollars to win worldwide tournaments, because there's just lots going on.
Yeah, look, I was under no illusion of what the game would be like, because I have played the beta or the alpha or whatever it was on the Xbox One. It was there. It's been on there for a long time, so it's only just coming to the PS4 now. So I've played it on there. The thing that sort of got me interested to try it again is the fact that I'd have somebody to play it with, because you guys have all got PS4s, but yeah, it didn't really add any enjoyment for me playing it with...
It didn't make it any better.
No, it's still just League of Legends with a fully controllable character, as opposed to point and click, which is a little bit more of an advantage for me, because I don't like that whole just click here and make them attack for you. I like doing the attacks, but I still didn't enjoy it though, because that's one of those games that if you want to enjoy it, I think, if you want to enjoy that and you want to be any good at it, it's probably the only game that you're allowed to play. You have to play that over and over and over again. And if you don't, if you just treat it like a pick up and play for a game or two and then leave, you're just going to get slaughtered every time.
Tell me about it. Even putting it down for a 24-hour period and picking it up and having a game yesterday.
Yeah,
smashed.
It's too involved. I don't want to give that game the time that it needs and deserves, so I can't play it.
Yep, they're cool. I know, I'm in the same boat, because I was thinking along the lines of got the Division, and there's Uncharted and Dark Souls 3 and everything coming out that and that's not to mention what comes out in the meantime that we get our hands on or whatnot. But it's got to be a 6 to 8 hour day game,
Yeah.
And you need the same team.
Yeah, good guys that you can rely on to do teamwork stuff.
No, thanks.
Yeah, same.
Not for me. Every now and again, with no disrespect to anyone, I like turning the headphones off and just playing my favourite games for an hour or two just in silence. And you can't do that with Smite. Moving on, a couple more just to cover real quickly. PS Plus games, Galaxy, the Dimensional.
Oh yeah, I haven't tried that yet. Have you?
Yes. I'm glad it was free because I had looked at it a few times when it was on special. Look, I wouldn't have been overly pissed off had I paid $8-9 for it. It's basically a 3D asteroids rip-off. Oh, not rip-off, but in the form of asteroids where you got like the 360 directional control, and then you use thrusters in order to move backwards and forwards. Then you can shoot and collect salvage and upgrade your ship. And there's somewhat of a narrative attached to it, and the rebels and whatnot. It felt very Star Wars, like a clone of Star Wars, the initial storyline anyway. So not bad. Well, it's free, so can't really knock a free game.
Sounds good from what you've described. I didn't realise it was 3D.
Oh, as in 3D, I don't know, but more perspective than the old Asteroids game, I should say. But
Oh,
yeah,
okay, so it's a 2D on a 3D plane, is it?
Yeah. But and everything it's very shaped up and scalped very well.
Oh, I'll have to try it.
Yeah, you'd probably enjoy it, you know, being a sci-fi fan, and that's what I enjoyed too, the real sci-fi feel to it. But you get hit right in those feels of the old days from Asteroids.
Okay, cool.
Something we can both touch on. I think this is probably about my last one, without touching on everything I've been doing on my phone. Broforce.
Oh, Broforce. What a game.
It's brotastic.
Yeah, that's it. That's the vote to play or whatever it vote for PS Plus title, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we played that last night for a bit, and it was one of those games that just kept demanding one more go.
Well, had every intention of being in bed before midnight. We jumped off Siege about 10 past 11. I'm like, yeah, we'll push this on for another half hour or so. I didn't get into bed till 12:30.
Yeah, that game sucked us in a bit, but it takes a lot from some of the games of its same genre, where it's, you know, the pixelated, side-scrolling, co-op sort of game, but it doesn't make it stupidly hard. Like, you can actually play it and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I actually really had fun with that last night. I'm keen to go back to that. I actually have with me a list of all the bros. Do you want to hear them?
Oh, do you? Oh, I considered it. I'm like, will it take the shine off when I get them in the game? But I reckon I've got most of them. So
I think you've got most of them. I've looked at it, and most of them are familiar. But there's a couple of new ones on here that I'm not aware of. It's a little bit of a spoiler. You might want to unlock them for yourself. But Sucked in Red, you're on a podcast, so I'm going to have to spoil it for you. Alright, cool. First one I've got is Rambro, and I'm going to get you to tell me who they are. That one's an easy one.
Okay, Rambo.
That's Rambo. Yep, John Rambo. The next one is Bromando.
Schwarzenegger from Commando.
It is John Matrix from the movie Commando, which is Schwarzenegger. B.A. Broakis.
B.A. Baracus 18.
That's correct. Brodell Walker.
That's Texas Walker, Chuck Norris.
That's right. Yeah, his name's Cordell Walker in the TV show Walker Texas Ranger, but he's Brodell Walker instead of Cordell. Next one is Brohard.
Brohard. Oh, Die Hard. John McClane.
Die Hard is John McClane. Yep. Mac Brover.
MacGyver.
Yep. Angus MacGyver from the MacGyver TV show. Blade.
Blade.
Braid. Next one is Bro Dredd.
Oh, Judge Dredd. He looks so good.
Yeah. Next one is Bro in Black.
Oh, Neo. Oh, no, Bro in
Black?
Bro in Black. Oh, who's that?
Men in Black, Agent J.
Oh, yeah.
Next one is Snake Broskin.
Snake Plissken
from Escape from
Russell?
New York and LA. Next one is the Brominator.
That's the one I kept begging to come out, and he's got the 1 pixel for his red eye.
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger again from Terminator.
Yeah, Terminator. Brobocop.
Enough said.
Yeah, I suppose that one's a dead giveaway. That one, Indiana Brones.
Oh, when he popped out, didn't we just lose it? Harrison Ford.
Indiana Jones. Ash Broliums.
Oh, Night of the Living Dead.
Close.
What? Ash vs Evil Dead.
Just the Evil Dead series, dude.
Oh, Evil Dead series, yeah, dude.
Ash Williams is his real name. Mr. Anderbro.
Yeah, Neo from Matrix.
Well, it's sort of. I think it's like a half-half because it's Mr. Anderson. Oh no, that's right. Sorry, that's his name.
That's
isn't
Neo's
it?
Matrix name. Yeah.
That is, yeah, Anderson. What's the I keep thinking
Agent
it's.
Smith.
What's that?
Agent Smith.
I keep thinking him, but he's the guy that just says Mr. Anderson.
Yes, he is.
He says
we back again, Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson. Yes, so sorry, you're right, Neo. The Boondock Bros.
Yeah, Boondock Saints.
Boondock Saints.
And Billy Connolly.
Brochetti.
Machete.
Danny yep.
Trejo. Yeah.
Bronan the Brobarian.
Oh, no way!
Yeah, Bronan is in there.
Does he have... Oh, yeah, I was about to say, does he have a big sword, but I'm guessing he would.
Oh, I don't know, you have to look in his pants. Ellen Ripbro.
Alan Ripbro.
Ellen.
Ellen Ripbro.
It's a female bro. Ellen Ripley from Aliens.
Oh! Duh.
Yeah, we hadn't seen her. He's one you might not get. Time Bro.
Time Splitters? No.
No, Max Walker from Time Cop. That's Van Damme.
Yeah, old school.
There you go. Broniversal Soldier.
Wicked.
That's Luke Devereaux from Universal Soldier. Colonel James Brodock.
That sounds like Arnold.
I don't know. It doesn't. Colonel James Braddock from Missing in Action. No, that's Missing in Action. Who's that?
I'm on it.
Chuck Norris. Another Chuck Norris. There we go. Cherry Broling, which is Cherry Darling from Planet Terror. I didn't think you'd get that. Bromax.
No.
That's Mad Max.
Oh, really?
Did you know Mad Max's last name?
No.
His name's Max Rockatansky. That's what it says on this wiki page anyway that I'm looking at. Max Rockatansky from Mad Max Theories. I didn't realise he was Polish. The Broad.
No.
Oh, okay. The Bride from the Kill Bill series.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, haven't had her yet. Double Bro 7. That's cool. That's obviously 007 from James Bond. The Brodator.
Predator.
Yeah, that's the Predator. Or the Brodator. The Brocketeer.
Oh, Rocketeer.
Yeah, Rocketeer. Broheart. We've had that one.
Oh, no, we haven't.
Yeah, we had Broheart last night.
No, what, Mel Gibson?
Yeah, William Wallace. Braveheart.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, I saw Broheart and I thought that sounds a bit gay because of the heart in there, but then it clicked that it was William Wallace.
Oh, okay. I must have missed it completely.
The Professional?
The Professional being... Woody Harrelson?
Woody Harrelson? I don't know.
Oh, no, that's Jean Reno, isn't it? The Professional?
I'll get back to you. It is... what's that guy's name? Yeah, Jean Reno, whatever his name is. Yeah, you're right. Broden?
Oh, as in Odin?
No, this one's cool. Lord Raiden from Mortal Kombat.
Oh, sick!
Yeah, that's sick. I want that one. And then a similar character, as in talking about the movie. That's what's good? Lambert, Christopher Lambert, the Brolander.
Yeah, there can be only one.
Yes, and there's the Expender Bros are in there as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Brony Ross, Lee Brokesmas, Bronnar Jensen, Bro Caesar, Brock to Death, Toll Brode, and Trent Brozer. They're apparently the Expendables from Expendables 3.
How good is that?
There you go. And if you look up the Wikipedia page, you can see all of their little avatars of all the characters, and you can tell who they are from them. It looks awesome. Ooh, excuse me. So there you go. That's all the bros from Broforce. Awesome game.
I did enjoy it a lot. I don't know what more you can say. Just everything's, you just blow the shit out of everything.
Yeah, side scroller, pixelated, mayhem.
Network features that work.
Yeah, no real dramas with it. A little bit of lag, but that could have been us. But yeah, it worked pretty good anyway. Nice, man.
That's about my week, other than the whole Candy Crush saga shit going on my fucking phone that I just can't pull my eyeballs away from.
Red, that's the last time that you say the name of that game on this podcast.
10-4.
All right, let me go through mine. I'll fly through the first two. Rocket League we've talked about. Goat Simulator. Now, all I'm going to say about Goat Simulator for this week is I'm going to correct myself from last week. It's not an easy platinum. It's a fucked platinum because Flappy Goat. No further comment. So it's safe to say I probably will never get that platinum. Moving on. Unravel. I have had the pleasure of completing Unravel now. And what a fantastic game. Where it was hard in some places, it was never really hard enough to make me stop and go, how do I do this? I'm Googling it or anything like that. It was enough difficulty for me to stop and think and have a few goes. So in my opinion, that's the perfect difficulty for me. I enjoyed it. Yeah. The graphics are still like mind-blowing. Yanni, the main character, he's fairly simple, but the world that he integrates into it's so photorealistic and so fantastic. It is an amazing little game. I very much do recommend that for fans of side-scrolling adventure games.
Yeah.
So it's great. Look, and at the very end as well. Now, no, slight spoiler, but not exactly. But at the very end, I was watching it, and my wife was watching me as well. And I looked over at my wife and said, "Did that just happen? No. Is that what happens? Oh! But how did they build so much emotion for one stupid little thing that happens to the world that you've just created and the character you've grown to love? How did that silly little thing at the end of the game make my heart break?"
So symbolic.
Yeah, but it sort of tears with you. It makes you think, oh, that's really emotional. But then at the same time you think, why? Why is it all...
So in the last fortnight you've spent 2 lots of $30 in order to cry and 1 to squeal.
Yes. Yes. That's it.
Are you menstruating?
Oh, I might be. But I was very quietly impressed with how they ended it. And I was like, well, a lot of people might not be happy, but I was very happy with it because I spent a lot of time with Yanni because it's a decent length game. And yeah, it was a surprising ending that I kind of wasn't expecting. And
well, they're the best ones,
I really appreciated. Even for certain reasons that I'm not going to go into, it was a significant one for me. I liked it. I think it's a brilliant game. But anyway, so I have finished that, and I didn't have a part in the game that I didn't enjoy. It's great. It might be something that I'll go back to when maybe if we're playing in a party and you guys all go to bed early or something, I might play that again on my own. For a little bit before bed. It's kind of one of those games. It's a fantastic side scroller and the graphics are great. So yeah, I can't talk it up enough. I loved it.
While you're on it, I must say quickly to those out there that aren't as intimate as you and I are, Jesus.
Yeah.
When you're playing a game and you say you love it, you at least have to have one of these moments in there. Ready? I'm not mimicking. I'm not taking the piss. I'm just trying to emulate.
Yes, did have a moment like that in that game.
Fuck you! And then he walked like, go for a smoke!
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
But they're the games that I care about. If I don't really care about the game, if it frustrates me, it won't piss me off. But it's the one that I want to do well on and want to get stuff right. Yeah, but there was a part in Unravel where, what part was that? I just got to try and think.
Just fucking done that.
Oh, it might have been the part with the birds, the pigeons in the field. It's a bit of a prick because it doesn't seem to have, like, you know, most games there's a timing to it. So you wait for something to happen and quick, go. There was a section in the game where it didn't appear to have a real timing to it. It was just like fucking whenever. Which I guess is true to what it actually was happening. You're all running through a field, like an open farm field, and there were pigeons. And they would randomly swoop in and just grab you and fly you off, and obviously it would be a death. I think that's the part that frustrated me. I'm not sure. But yeah, so there are some frustrating parts. But like I said, I was never really stuck for very long. But dying about 3, 4, 5, 6 times, it starts to get a bit annoying. But eventually you'll work it out and get through. So that's pretty neat still. That didn't ruin it at all.
No, what you said is if you didn't care, you dismiss it and turn the game off.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, I'll move on. I played Ark Survival Evolved. I played that on PC. That's also available on the Xbox One. And the game is just as fucked on both of them. It is very, very poorly. You know how beefcake my computer is?
Yeah. She's top of the line.
Mate, I had to put it on like medium to below medium settings to get the prick to run at a decent frame. And I was talking to Reprimere and he said, yeah, it's just poorly optimized. It doesn't really run good on anything. And that was a bit shit for me because I just paid
why have it if you can't use it?
For a very powerful computer, and I can't even run this game. And it didn't look like it needed to be as demanding as it is. So that was a bit annoying. On top of that, look, it's not a bad survival game. It's a bit weird. There's dinosaurs. That's cool. But you play on servers, so if you're going to play it for a whole, you're going to put a bit of time into it, pick a server that's good, because obviously if you change servers, you'll lose all of your progress, so you have to stay on the same server. But I think in this game, the idea of it is even when you're offline, you're still in the game.
Yeah, you can still get ripped off.
Yeah, and killed and stuff. So the idea is you've got to build up something that can protect you, like a building, and put like a lock on the door and fences around for when you want to log off. I found a couple of establishments and tried to break in. There was one guy who stupidly built a fence, but put his fence up against like a massive big rock boulder. So I climbed up the boulder and jumped over his fence. So I got into his little compound where he had a triceratops and a flying creature or whatever. And I thought, I'm just going to jump on his triceratops and break my way out and steal his shit. But I couldn't ride it. Whether I wasn't leveled up enough to know how to ride the animals, or if these animals were tamed to the owner. And
loyal to the
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that. But I couldn't ride them. And then the grim reality hit was there was a rock on the outside to get in. How the fuck do I get out? So Jason Reprimere was playing with me. He followed me in as well, and he was like, how do we get out? I don't know. He had a little crop set up in there as well, so I stole all his food. But we managed to kind of glitch it a bit and jump on top of the triceratops, which gave us enough leverage to then jump over the fence. So we got out. It was all good. But everything will kill you. If you're out in the sun, it's too hot and you'll burn, and he cries and he's not happy. and so you've got to find shelter. You've got to find shade from the sun. Then at night time it gets too cold and the prick will freeze, and he gets too cold and has a whinge about that. And then he gets hungry, so you got to find food. That's all right because I stole some food, killed some little tiny compy dinosaurs, and cook them on a fire that you can make, and you can level up with your abilities to learn how to make fires, make weapons. It's kind of like Minecrafty, where you just punch the shit out of trees to break them, but you'll take damage because you're punching a fucking tree. Then you pick up rocks and you can craft stuff to make weapons and tools. Rather than punching, you can use a hatchet and stuff like that. So there's plenty to do in it. It does have a lot of potential, but it does have a lot of work that still needs to be done. So it is good, but I don't know. It might be one of those games that's just in development hell and never gets out of early access. So I don't know. Good luck to them. Hopefully it does come out of then. So that wasn't too bad to play. Next up, I want to talk about Brawlhalla. Now,
yes.
Well, often read when I'm on with you or Repremier or Nico or whatever, I'll look for a game on Steam that's free or insanely cheap, like 50
or
cents.
7 cents a pop.
Yeah, that's it, and we'll buy it. And obviously something that's really small download, so we can download it in half hour or so. Now, Brawlhalla was about 200-300 megabytes just off the top of my head. And it looked like a Super Smash Bros. Sort of copy.
Clone.
And it's free. It's absolutely free. Now, obviously, you can use real money to unlock more characters, but there's still a fair good roster in there for nothing. And the game, it plays perfectly. We connected to, I think they were Australian servers, because it was full green bars the whole time when I was playing with Repremier and Nico. And it's Smash Bros, man. That's what it is. And you can play full controller support with my Xbox 360 controller, and we just bashed the shit out of each other for about an hour the other night playing it. It's fantastic. Free, small download, and heaps of fun for nothing. It's great. It is really good. We just played in private lobbies, where you can set up the different game modes, where you want to throw snowballs at each other or just brawl, and there's all different modes. It was really good. You got to get into it, and it looks like that it'll run on a thumbtack.
Oh, okay. Good to hear.
Yeah,
I do believe you told me, but
now another one that we played in the same vein. So War Mode is another free-to-play game on Steam, and that one I would describe as Call of Duty based with CSGO that was on like a $14 budget. For what it is, and the fact that it's free, we spent a lot of time on it, so it was pretty good. Depending on the type of person you are, you may just whinge and complain about it and say it's shit. However, I'm very open to games like this. Small development team made a game that I spent an hour on and didn't cost me a cent. I give them all the congratulation in the world. I'm actually going to try and get in contact with them and just tell them they've done a good job for what it is, because it's pretty cool. There's shit lag, but not too much that I didn't enjoy it. So it was pretty cool. It's a first-person shooter, and the CSGO elements come in at the start of the game. You're all level 0. You all start with the Glock pistol. You've got enough to purchase another gun, or you can save it, get some kills with the pistol, and then get a bigger, better gun. There's heaps of guns to choose from, but you've got to buy them. So the more kills, the more money you got, the better guns and armor you can buy. So for what it is, a free, never heard of game before, War Mode, it's pretty feature-packed. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. So that's something that if you got no money. Ooh.
Was it recommended to you, or did you just find it?
No, I just found it. Brawlhalla and War Mode, I just found them just looking under, I don't know what I looked for. I think I just looked for either specials and just put like cheapest first or something, lowest price, and yeah,
Yeah.
and found those games and downloaded them. Combined, both games together I don't even think it's a gig. So it's,
but there's nothing like being able to run nearly every game on Steam to prompt you to start looking at Steam games.
Yeah, that's probably the idea behind it, why I was looking as well. And we had some good fun with it. Now, moving on to another Steam game. It's in early access at the moment, but it's closed, so it's only to people with codes and access to it. It's called the Culling.
Yeah, wicked.
Red, you're like me. You like a good old-fashioned run of murder, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to take anything away from how you're about to describe it, but it sounds like it's taken aspects of Ark and a first-person sort of shooter and just moulded it into something very fun.
That's a fantastic way of describing it. Yes, it's a survival game. So you start off, it's first person. You start off with absolutely nothing. Very Hunger Games, except you don't all start off next to each other. You're all scattered on the outskirts of the map, right? And it's a massive open world map. And you're all, the game kicks off and you're all in a box, which after the countdown, the box breaks open and you're free. And you've got nothing but your fists and your wits about you. So what you do is you just leg it to the nearest building that you can find or anything. Try and find gear. So you can either luck out and find weapons, or you can find bits and pieces to build weapons. And I learnt a bit from watching other people play after I died, where like Ark, as you suggested, you can punch trees to break bits off it to make craft weapons and things like that. So I've had weapons like hatchets, spears, bows, blow darts, samurai swords. There's even guns in the game. I'll get to that in a second. Yeah, so you start off and you've got absolutely nothing. So you go to the buildings. You can go in the caves, tunnels, mountains. Go wherever you want. There's even like crates that you can open up. Now there is a currency in the game called funk, and which led us to start playing the song "We Do the Funk." So Nico and I were playing the game to that the other day. It was really cool. But yeah, so your currency, when you get kills, you can unlock these crates that require funk. You can find funk in barrels around the levels and stuff like that. You can open up what do you call them, lockers in the buildings, and there are things just laying around everywhere. So keep moving at the start, get your weapons, build up your arsenal, make yourself or find a backpack so you can carry more, and you will eventually start running into enemies in the map, right? And then you obviously got to, it's a duel, you got to fight each other. You can play alone, or you can play in teams of 2. So teaming up is probably the best thing to do. If you can find somebody and talk to them and team up with a bigger team, you're going to have a better chance of making it to the end. But then obviously, inevitably, it's only the last man standing. So you're going to have to turn on your mate eventually. So there's 16 players, and the actual player roster, there's no button to press to bring up the who's in the game. You just look into the sky. Does that sound like something to you?
Hunger Games.
Hunger Games. You know, then they look up into the sky and it shows who's just died and stuff.
Yeah.
The scoreboard's in the sky, so at any time you just got to look up and there it is. You can see who's left, who's dead, where you're
right,
standing.
so it is very strongly influenced by...
Yes, very. So yeah, look, there's very powerful weapons and there's very basic weapons like just a piece of wood and stuff like that. As the game wears on and the time goes by, there's it starts off with 25 minutes on the timer on the clock. As you get to about the 10-minute mark, there's like a deadly gas that's released around the outskirts of the map, which also sounds a lot like Hunger Games, which will slowly push everybody towards the middle. And right in the middle of the map is an actual arena, like you would expect, like a fighting arena or a circular ring where you're all pushed in at the end. There's high-end weapons there, and it basically becomes a an all-in brawl for whoever's left at the end. So there might be 5, there might be 2, there might be just a handful of people that get pushed into there, and then eventually you end up with the one winner. Now, I managed to be the winner on one occasion, but that was only a bot match because playing it online with real people, Nico and I got our asses handed to us. But that brings me to talk about the guns in the game, which I think are way too overpowered, and I would arguably say that I would enjoy the game a lot more if there were no guns. Now, the game is predominantly melee based, but the guns, the developers comment and say that the guns are very OP, but they're very high demand, there's not a lot of ammunition. But I got mowed down on numerous occasions by an SMG, and the guy just unloaded a couple of clips on me, and my health bar just flew down. It was ridiculous, and he did it from a distance. Didn't feel like there was any skill, because throwing like a spear or an axe is a
timing.
Yeah, it's pretty tricky and takes a lot of skill, whereas shooting with an SMG is just shooting with an SMG, right? So that kind of disappointed me a bit. I made a video which is up now for the culling up on our YouTube channel, Aussie Games Express. Check it out. You'll see me getting killed by the SMG in there and being a little bit disappointed, and it's a little bit more of my thoughts in that video as well. But it's pretty good. I'm not sure how much it's going to be when it comes out, but playing the early access closed alpha was good fun. Alright, I'll move on to Gravity Rush. Red, I think you forgot to mention this one.
Oh, I did. Yes, we were waiting for this week to talk about it. Yeah, you kick off and I'll chime in.
Yeah, so Gravity Rush was originally released on the PlayStation Vita, and I got to play that one because I have a Vita and it was given out for free as a PS Plus title. Originally, this probably wasn't something that I would buy because I don't really look into these Jap games very much, but because it was free and I didn't really have much on the Vita, I can pretty confidently say right now that, with exception to Uncharted on the Vita, which is a pretty good game, Gravity Rush is probably the best experience that I've had on the Vita to date, and I've had my Vita for a few years now. It is a great game. It's an open world Jap game that starts off, you play as a girl who's lost her memory. Her name, well, I guess she just calls herself Cat, or no, a friend of hers calls her Cat, and she meets an actual cat, as in the feline variety, who she names Dusty, and the cat gives her special powers to gravity shift, so she can change the direction of gravity, which is the core component, the thing that the game revolves around. So essentially you press one of the buttons, it turns off gravity, and you hover, and then you point in a direction, whether you use the 6-axis on your controller or use your thumbstick to aim in a direction. Press that button again, and that now becomes your gravity point. That's the way, that'll be down. So it kind of gives you the feeling that you're flying, but really you're just falling towards the gravity direction that you've selected, and that's the power that's given to you from this cat Dusty. And obviously you're a little bit clumsy starting off, and you fall and you're all over the place, and then obviously as you level up it gets a little bit more graceful, and you unlock other things to do attacks and things like that. So the world is being attacked by the Nevi, and there's a bad guy in there who's trying to destroy everything, take it for himself. It's a fantastic concept. It's Red, you reviewed it. There's a review up on Aussie Games Express of the remastered version of it. That's the next point I want to make, is the remastered side of things.
Puts the master in remaster.
It does, man. Dragging something from the Vita and putting it on a big screen, it looks beautiful, which makes me think, surely they haven't gone back and done all the art again for 1080p. That makes me think that everything that they made for the Vita is all of very high quality. They just shrink
and upscalable. Yeah,
they just shrink it down to the small screen because the story is told through like a comic book story, like the storyboard sort of style with all the boxes.
Mm.
That all looks so pristine, like it was made for the big screen. Although this is the first time it's appeared on the big screen. And yeah, it looks nice and crisp and beautiful, and I think it's a fantastic game to play. If you're, I think that this game is, even though it may not have been sort of intended this way, but Gravity Rush is kind of like the game for non-Jap game players to play.
The bridge.
Yeah, this is the game that'll get you interested in more Jap games, because it is a fantastic one, and yeah, it plays so well, plays so smooth. Red, tell me what you think of it.
Well, you're saying crisp and fantastic and beautiful, but there's one thing I need to make note of that I did in the written review is everything is dull lime greens and real light, dull purples and pinks. There's no real colour palette to it. But it just, for some reason, you're able to associate words of beautiful and crisp and fluent, and it becomes a little bit more colourful as things start to progress, as well as the soundtrack starts to get a little bit more upbeat because basically you're trying to piece together a broken floating city.
Yeah.
That's been split up by Rift Nevi bosses, so that's how you bring it all back together. With that, spoiler free, obviously. You beat a boss, you get a bit of your place back, and the ultimate goal is to restore what's it name, Hensky to its original form.
Hexville, isn't it?
Henskyville, yeah, something like that. So yeah, you and I think the way the tutorial's done is perfect, because as you said, it's a Jap game, and sometimes, whether it be anime, manga, or a real Japanese game, often the developer or the writer will already assume that you're the rare breed, or not the rare breed, because there's a lot of them out there, but the left of center manga breed, that you can just automatically take everything in, understand what's going on, realize that you're not part of anything Western associated. This is a fantasy world, and you're instantly conform.
Yeah.
But the tutorial, the way, because you've got amnesia and you're slowly learning your tricks again and your abilities, it feeds it to you at a pace where you're more susceptible to taking in what's going on around you.
Yeah.
And every upgrade that you get, you're thankful for, you know what I mean? Like, you can partake in all the challenges because there's certain points around the map that you deposit your orbs into, or you press as gems, and that sets something in motion, like restarts a freshwater fountain or makes an elevator work or something. So you're restoring a function to the city, but then you're left with a challenge after that, whether it be a time attack, a circuit, a battle, or whatever the case may be. And very early on, you can feel like you're very underwhelmed and undermanned, ability-wise, or your gravity gauge will run out too fast and you can't get from point A to point B. So there's incentive to come back to do these challenges, but there's also a light at the end of the tunnel. It's like, right, well, I'm going to be, oh, well, my character's going to be this good, it's going to have these abilities, and that in itself is it gives you the ambition to keep going, and you really want to keep trying. And it really personalizes the game when you go help out a few people for a bed and a chair and a drawers and stuff like that, to create your own little dwelling. So you're emotionally becoming invested in Kat, and as her memory starts to come back, or she starts making new memories with new friends and everything like that, as with a lot of Japanese games, you become really invested and really involved in it, and you're almost creating your own story, because it is an open world game and you can do what you want when you want.
Yeah, and the thing about this as well, which I find a problem with a lot of these Jap games, is that it's not confusing. It's very easy to understand what everything's doing.
It doesn't assume that you live in the anime fantasy.
Yeah, so it's a very Western-friendly Jap game, and it's still a Jap game at its heart. It's got a lot of those traits that go towards it, and its quirks, and yeah, I loved it. The boss battles are really fun too.
They're not overwhelming, are they?
No, it's not a stupidly hard game. It's something that you can still enjoy.
Well, it has those little cubes that you can follow around your missions if you don't want to get spotted or anything like that. It takes away from being forcing missions on you. If you know what I mean, like you can go around and you can talk to people, have conversations, and build a rapport. Because you go back and talk to the same people numerous times, and it develops a story within a story. But you do a mission, and it's like, right, well, you got to sneak past these guards, to do this. But there's these little silver cube-looking things, like they look like square, like sands for the hourglass thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you follow them, that's the route that the game's suggesting that you take for the mission in order to succeed the quickest.
Yeah. Yeah, so all in all, a really good remake. So if you've played it on the Vita and want to put it on the big screen, go ahead, pick it up. Or if it sounds interesting, like you'll want to get into something like that, it's probably a good go, I'd say. I love the game. It's probably the game that I put the most amount of time on the Vita, considering that a lot of Vita games are just small little time wasters and are a waste of time. But,
PC ports.
Yeah, they're just junk. But yeah, Gravity Rush is fantastic.
And through research for the review, we're to expect Gravity Rush 2 in the next few months.
Oh yes, that'll be good. I'm onto that. I'll 100% be playing that. Absolutely. Alright, move on to another big one for this week as we close up with my video game discussion is Heavy Rain Remastered, with another remaster that's coming from the PS3 across to the PS4. Heavy Rain makes its debut on the latest consoles, and does it deserve a spot? That's the big question that we always ask of these remasters. And Red, I can tell you it deserves to be on the PlayStation 4 100%.
All right, just to quickly, not to go off a beaten track at all, it's in the same vein. Do you find, because you've now played Beyond Two Souls also, yes?
Yeah, I have.
Do you find that these narrative-driven, spectacularly delivered visual games do lend themselves very easily to a remaster, because you will notice the upscaling and the high def and the 1080 and everything like that? There's probably not a whole lot of action like your Devil May Cries or your Call of Duties. They're just very susceptible to being polished.
Well, yes. However, the reason why I'm so, for Heavy Rain being remastered, it's not necessarily because the game needed to look better and it's better to play now that it's pretty and all that sort of stuff. The game looked absolutely brilliant back on the PS4, and probably has some of the best graphics on the PS3. Now it does look better and does play better on the PS4, but that wasn't the part that I was most excited for. The fact is, it's a brilliant game. It is. Now, unfortunately for Beyond Two Souls, Heavy Rain does sort of overcast it, because Heavy Rain is definitely the better of the two games. But I think that's all to do with the story. Heavy Rain's story is probably one of the best story-based kind of simulatory kind of games that I've played.
Sounds dark.
It is. It plays like a movie, and all it is quick time events, right? So you walk around a little bit and you do quick time events where you need to, but all of the quick time events and all of the actions in the game, what they've done is they've tried to make it mimic as best they can what you're actually doing on screen. So you very rarely will just walk up to something if you need to turn a dial. Very rarely will it be press X. It'll be turn the stick, or it'll be pull the stick to the right and then rotate and stuff like that. And you have full control. So if you've got to dial the stick around clockwise, if you do it slowly, your character moves slowly. If you stop halfway through, your character stops. If you let the stick go, he lets go and won't do it. It's very, very, very control heavy. So that's like your normal sort of actions in the game. If you're in like an action sequence, there will be a lot of things like press R1, press R2, press X, dial the stick, shake the controller, throw the controller to the right, lift the controller up. all these sort of things, but they all mimic what the character actually has to do, which makes it a little bit easier to anticipate what you're actually required to do, because sometimes it's a little bit ambiguous with the icon on the screen.
Yeah.
But if you're like down low and you need to punch up or something, you've got to swing the controller up. It's probably the best QuickTime events or QTEs that I've ever played in a game. So QuickTime events are usually boring and they're not fun.
Yeah, fillers.
Yeah, you feel like, and it's like I didn't really like the QuickTime events in games like God of War. I didn't really enjoy them too much. Just a button masher. This one, it felt a little bit more purposeful, and but that's
same
the
as Until
gameplay.
Dawn.
Yeah, Until Dawn was quite good as well.
But Until Dawn doesn't sound quite as elaborate
No.
as what you're talking about here. Until Dawn, you did have your, like, if you were going to skip and miss something and dodge to the left, it'd give you square. If you're going to dodge to the right, it'd give you circle. X was down, triangle was up, and don't move the control sort of thing. But with yours is, yeah, up and down. Because the one thing, I've never actually played, I've seen a fair bit of footage on it, like reviews and everything like that, but the brushing the teeth thing was always a joke.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You can make fun of Heavy Rain because you can. Yeah, you've got to do the whole move the stick to put the toothpaste on, then brush the teeth and all that sort of stuff.
But that's more tutorial, isn't it?
You don't have to do any of that stuff. Like you can, if you see a toilet, you can go and take a piss. Then you can go and wash your hands, or you can go and take a piss and not wash your hands, or you can just not go and take a piss. You don't have to do any of this shit, right?
I checked my controller for 8 minutes to make sure there's no dribble.
Careful, we might turn into something else.
Didn't even think about that, did I?
You just jerked off your online character. Sorry, I've got a frog in my throat today. But yeah, so there's a lot of things that you can do in it. But look, that stuff just makes it good to play. The actual story is very inviting. It's a murder mystery. There's the origami killer, who's a serial killer killing children aged around 10 to 13, and you need to work out who he is. You play as 4 characters. You play as Ethan, who's the father. You play as Scott, who is a private detective. You play as Norman, who is an FBI agent, and you also play as Madison, who is a journalist. So you got all 4 of those characters, and they've all got their own agendas as to why they're involved, and it might be obvious why they're involved. Obviously, the father, his child gets kidnapped.
FBI, it's a federal case.
Yeah, he's looking into finding the killer as well. You've got the private investigator who's been hired by the families of the past victims to find the killer, and then there's also the journalist who's obviously trying to get a story, right? So you play all these characters and they all end up feeding you different information as to who it is. You can work out who the killer is by playing the game and paying attention. It's not easy, and it's not very obvious, but it's one of those games as well that when you eventually do find out, if you find out, it'll show you the things that you could have picked up on, right? So I say if you find out, you might not find out.
Wow.
That's the kind of game it is. So if you do things wrong, you might not even work it out. But there's 6 different endings. Now I've experienced 2 now because I played it back on the PS3, and I was shit back then, and it wasn't a very good ending. This time I made sure that I played the game and paid attention, and I got a little bit of a better ending this time. So there's 6 different endings that you can experience, but it's not just the ending that changes. Man, you can have drastic events happen halfway through the game that will change everything towards the end.
So, are your endings based on choices, like in Until Dawn, or is it if you muff up a quick time event, or or all the above?
All of the above. See, if you make a mistake in a quick time event that's significant, that'll change the ending. But then the ending might branch off because something changed in that quick time event. But then it might change again later on based on a decision that you've made. It might change again based on a piece of evidence that you missed. So if you pick up if you're playing as Norman, for example, you get some evidence, you know extra things. See, that's the thing, as I'm saying, you might not work out who the killer is because you didn't find the evidence. You just skimmed over something or missed it or what have you. Whereas
I'm playing this game.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. When you play as Norman Jaden, who likes to pronounce his name as Naaman. I don't know what accent that is, but he's got a particular accent that sounds a bit weird. And he says, "I'm Norman Jaden, FBI." Naaman? That's a weird name, but it's Norman. But anyway, playing as him, he uses a thing called Ari, which is the... it's some augmented reality thing, but it's he puts on a set of glasses and a...
Ari, A-R-Y, A-R-I.
A-R-I, yeah.
Yeah, augmented reality intelligence or something.
No, it's not that. It's similar to that. It's in my review. I've put it in there because I researched it, but I can't
researched it because we're like,
Oh yeah, I can't remember. But he puts on a glove as well, and he scans things in the crime scenes and all that sort of stuff. And it's really fun to then go back and examine the evidence and stuff like that.
No.
I wish there was a little bit more of it, but there was enough to enjoy of that kind of thing. But yeah, look, all in all, we're going way over time here, so we've got to sort of hit the pedal here. But Heavy Rain is a fantastic game. There's probably a lot of people that missed it. Like Nico, he said that it didn't hit his radar. You got to play it, man. It is a great game. This is better than Until Dawn, man.
Yeah, I'm keen. Until Dawn was a horror game. This is a thriller mystery.
Yeah. I
get into them more.
It's fantastic, and the graphics, man, they're just amazing. Oh, it's something that I did point out in my review, but I've got to make mention. Geez, the opening sequence, the very beginning of the game, is fucked. It's shit. It's boring. It's slow. And yeah. Ethan, the father in the game, his actor, he can't voice act. He's shit. I don't know what happened. Lead
me to my last question. That was.
What's your last question?
What would you like for your meal?
Yeah, who says that? Come on, Sean. I have prepared your meal, and it is ready. Now that you have finished your meal, you need to go to bed now. It's so bad. It is really bad. But push through that first hour, and the game is mint. So yeah, it's like a 1 out of 10 for the intro bit that teaches you shit, and a 10 out of 10 for the rest of the game. So yeah, push through it. Don't give up in that first hour, because it does look like a fucking shit game early on. But it gets so totally good. Alright, cool. Any other questions?
No, mate, no.
Alright, wonderful. I'm going to hit you up after you've played it. Screen Cheat we'll talk about next week. We've got a review copy of that, so we're going to look into that game. That looks really cool. And that's it. That's it for video game discussion. Now we're going to have to go through video game news and do it kind of quickly. Alright, first up in video game news, PS4 gives us more. I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. Alright.
And every verse is getting worse.
Yeah, that's right. Eat a dick, you...
red-headed prick.
Yep, it's getting worse. Alright, so PS4 system update 3.50 features have been detailed. Now this might not be all of the features, but these are some pretty cool ones that I've got here, and as well it's on aussiegamerstv.com on our website. Friend online notifications, so that's something that some of us might want. So
we used to have it on the PS3, yeah.
Yeah, you did. But the good thing about this one is you're going to be able to tailor the notifications. So you might not want to know...
for certain people.
Yes.
Oh, so, thank fuck for that, because I want to know when you come on, but not Reese.
Yeah, fuck Reese. Yeah, you're right. Like, so if you've got 75 people, let's just say argumentatively, you've got a full friend list, You might have it going off every 2 seconds, people coming on and on. You might have some people that are having connection issues and popping on and off. It's bloody annoying. Just set it to let you know when your close friends that you always play are online. So Red, I'll have you, Nico, Jason, you know, Pat, Roy Boy.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! I'll dug myself a hole here if I forget somebody. But yeah, so you've got your set amount of friends or that you always play with. Just have it so that it notifies you of them coming online, and the rest doesn't really matter, so it won't bother you. So that's a cool feature. I'm happy for that to be coming. The next one is appear offline. So sometimes you want to play a game on your own or watch a movie without people sending you messages or friend requests. So you can go incognito now. You've got the appear offline. So it's also real good if you're going to chuck a sickie and want to play like a game all day. Hopefully my bosses aren't aware of this one. Next one is a user scheduled event. This sounds really good. I hope it's as good in practice as it is in theory. But so what you can do is to organise a game session. So Red, let's play a role play here. Hey man, how you going?
Good.
You want to play Rainbow Six Siege tonight?
Yeah, I'm free about 8:30.
Alright, 8:30. What I'm going to do is I'm going to schedule a gameplay session for 8:30 and I'll invite you to it. When the event starts, you'll automatically be added into a party and the game will be there for us to play. So you don't have to set it all up. You can just go in and go, right, 8:30, Siege, invite these people, boom, a party will be activated and you'll be in. I don't know if it's going to turn your console on automatically for you. I hope it does. That'll be cool.
Yeah, me too, because I've got to get the kids to bed.
So I'm hoping it'll boot your console up, start a party, boot the game up maybe, but it's going to start a party, I know that for sure. And then all you got to do is literally pick up the controller, put your headphones on and away you go. That's cool. That's really cool.
That is kind of cool, yeah.
Yeah. Next thing is remote play for PC and Mac. So the PS4 remote play that's currently available on the Vita will now be available to be used on PC and Mac. It's not going to be available in the beta, because the beta is running now, I believe, if you signed up for it. I didn't sign up for it because it has a non-disclosure agreement, which means you can't talk about the beta. So I figured if I can't talk about it, why do I want to play a buggy mess? I'll let everybody else do that.
Yeah.
So, but that's coming. That's going to be really cool. So we can play your PS4 games on your PC, as long as you got a decent speeded modem network set up. That'll probably be pretty cool. Another one that's probably my least interested one. That was least interested one. I can't speak. The one that I'm least interested in is Daily Motion, which is a new share streaming video. You know what Daily Motion is, don't you?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's like a cheap ass YouTube, I guess, has all videos on it. But that's coming. It's probably just going to be an app. But yeah, that's the new features coming to 3.50. What's your most anticipated one of those?
I tell you what, if like it says, LewkOne is just logged in. It'd be nice if it gave you a PS, you know, if you get a trophy, you can go PS button or your friends join the party. If it gives you a PS button notification that you can invite them straight away to a chat party you're in, that would be heaps nifty. I know we get on there and we try and invite everyone, and then someone comes on and go, fuck, I forgot. But if they just jump on, you go, oh yeah, bang. But appearing offline, it'd probably be my favourite. Yeah,
fair enough. As for that, an easy way around not forgetting to invite your friends is make a favourites list. Because instead of going through your whole list of friends, because sometimes when they're offline, it's in alphabetical order, I think, you got to scroll all the way to the bottom. Sometimes you'll accidentally scroll past someone. If you make a favourites list with just 6 or 7 people in there, just tag everyone. Boom, job done.
Someone made a favourites list a long time ago. It's not fully compiled of my favourites, and there's people in there that aren't my favourites. But someone just made one and included me in it, so I got it. So I'm like, yeah, cheering. So I've never actually made a favourites list. I might have to get onto it.
Yeah, make your own, yeah. I'm real keen for the friend online notification, but really interested in trying the remote play as long as it works well.
Oh, you've got the rig, the gear, and the...
Well, essentially you don't need the rig for it because it's really just going to be demanding on your network speed. So if you've got a modem that's made in the last century, it's going to be, what, at least 100 megabits a second. I think mine's 300 megabits a second. It's just going to be a network connection. It's not going to use internet. It's not going to use really much resources. It's just going to use your console. So that should work okay regardless.
Well, yeah, so... Hypothetically, I know I'm going to push for time. Hypothetically, how would I stream it to my TV in my room if my console's out here?
Oh, you would
I'd
need
have to have my laptop in there?
Your laptop in there, yeah. Plug your laptop into your TV, yeah. Or buy a PlayStation TV, which is like being cancelled.
Oh, has it?
Yeah, in America and shit. It's not
because
being sold
I want to do that. I want to stream to my TV in my bedroom so I can every now and again just go tuck up in bed and still get that extra hour a game in, or play for, because like I've been having that hankering to play Fallout 4 this week, but there's let's play Siege and let's do this and let's do that. It's like yeah cool. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I'm not pissy about that. I love playing games with my friends, so instantly that holds sway over what I want to do. But there was twice last week, or in this last week, I've gone, I really just want to take my PlayStation in my bedroom and play Fallout 4 for a couple of hours before bed. So I'm probably going to have to get on eBay and try to buy one of those PlayStation TVs.
In reality, though, in 2016, the technology, in my opinion, doesn't exist to give you an experience that's just as good as playing it just on the console. I don't think you'll enjoy it.
Okay. Well, I just like the convenience of not having to take it into the bedroom.
Yeah, the convenience, it runs out because there's a little bit of lag, and it's 720p only. I don't think you'd use it. I don't.
Wait to see how this streaming works then, and I'll get you to tell me how to do it.
Alright, next up in news, rumours for Call of Duty 2016. This is just a pure rumour and speculation, but it's worth discussing. We'll have a quick talk about it, but we'll have to keep it short. Is Infinity Ward going to give us Ghosts 2 this year? Because it's been heavily suggested. What would you think if it was Ghosts 2?
That's hard to ask, because I thought I was going to love Black Ops 3. I don't dislike it, but I'm not that interested. For the first year, I'm really not interested. Like, I'd probably be more like you now, where if I was to buy it, it would be for the campaign.
Yeah. And
would I play the campaign of Ghost 2? Yeah, sure. And would I play the campaign of Modern Warfare 4? Yeah, sure. Yeah, so I'm not phased either way, but the diehard fans are going to crack the shits, because we even had a dude have a bit of a hissy on the page this week. The Ghost was that bad, rah. And it was the worst multiplayer release for Call of Duty in probably 6 or 7 years, and they fucked that up.
Yeah.
But as far as Ghost as opposed to Modern Warfare, as far as a Call of Duty game can go, it's a new IP. Or a new narrative, so they can't give up on it after one.
Yeah, but with Ghosts, and Call of Duty, when I think of Call of Duty, I don't think of a multiplayer game. I know a lot of people do. That's what they see it as.
The majority, yeah.
Yeah, when I think of Call of Duty, I predominantly think a fun campaign, and I enjoyed Ghosts more than Advanced Warfare and the Black Ops 3 story. I enjoyed that the best. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah,
and it's not finished. It's not finished. That ending,
no, not at all,
was a sequel caller. Yeah. So it's I'd be happy for Ghosts 2. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was its strongest aspect, because they had that infection mode or whatever it was with aliens. That
was good.
That was okay for a bit.
Yeah, I liked it. It's too hard, but
that's exactly right, and that's what they've done with the zombies this year, this generation, this installment. It's too hard.
Yeah.
You know, I understand that it needs to be hard, and I understand there needs to be Easter eggs which are hard to do, but they were really hard in Black Ops 2, but you could still play 25 rounds with your mate just on a pure basis of survival, not trying to go collect this, do this, throw a grenade here and do that, but just fucking jumping on a bus and going from place to place and surviving hordes of zombies. That was fun.
Yeah. All right. That'll do. We're going to move on. My next news item, Alan Wake's Quantum Break. More poem stuff. So reports have been made that if you decide to go wandering in Quantum Break's opening section of game, which is set on a university campus, you'll eventually stumble across a student demonstration, a tent that has a flat screen TV inside, on which a trailer for Alan Wake's Return is playing. Just quickly, Red, did you play Alan Wake? No. No, it was a 360 game, wasn't it? Was it on the PlayStation? I don't think it was.
No. Not that I know of. So never crossed my desk.
That's the reason why. But anyway, in the little video that's playing, you can hear like waves crashing and someone saying, he's been gone for 5 years. We're just a speck of floating light in an endless ocean of darkness. There's detectives with torches, dead bodies everywhere, bloody knives and music playing and all that sort of stuff. It could be an actual sequel for Alan Wake, and a trademark has been filed for Alan Wake's Return, so maybe it is.
Yes.
I hope it is, because I don't know why it's been so long, because Alan Wake was a great game. I played it, I really enjoyed it, so I
want an Xbox One.
Yes, you need one. You can play these sort of games, but yeah, so that's going to be in that early stages of Quantum Break, and hopefully it is actually an advert rather than just an Easter egg. So that'd be cool.
Did you see the 8 minutes of gameplay that's just been released of Quantum Break?
No, I didn't watch it, no.
Fucking check it out, man. Yeah. That's some Matrix shit right there.
Yeah, I've seen some of the abilities in action, so yeah, it's going to be a good game, I think. All right, Red, give us your news in Fast Forward.
Right,
please.
Really? Yeah, in Fast Forward. So March 17th, mark that date if you like indie-style Souls-like dungeon crawlers, because Bandai Namco is going to release a game called Necropolis, and from all accounts it looks like you can take 3 to 4 people in with you into procedurally generated dungeons with sword and shield combat, and it looks just as unforgiving and as hard as a Dark Souls game. So if that sounds like it's up your alley, it's got its own really cool sort of Assassin's Creed Chronicles style graphics. Doesn't look to be too much customization at the moment, but I'm basing this all on only 2 videos I was able to find on it. So
sorry, what was it called?
Necropolis. Necropolis. Necropolis.
Oh, cool. Yep.
Yeah, so they're going to hold back the PC release, so it's going to align with the console release. Cool. So it's all going to come out at once. Nice. Moving on. Put on the hand drakes. Uncharted 4, A Thief's End has received another delay from Sony. Oh no, it's the first time that you're upset about a release by a delay.
Nah, this is all good.
Only because it fucks with your routine that you probably had a good 72 hours set aside just for nothing but Drake.
Yeah, well, it's all right. No, I'm actually not too fast because I've got something on that week, so if it's delayed, it puts it into a better window for me.
So it was originally set for 2015, and it was delayed to spring 2016, then specifically March 18, and then again April 26th, and is now due on the 10th of May, so a full fortnight after its latest release date, and that's due to production problems. I reckon for every PlayStation that they've ever sold, they've got to print a disc.
Yeah, probably. So that's what the delay is. They actually need to physically make the game on discs.
Yeah, so it's probably going to, we're probably looking at it's going to go gold in the, in the next 4 weeks, I reckon.
Yeah.
So, nothing wrong with that, mate. If it's, it could have been the first game in a long time which would have required a pre-order in order to obtain.
Yeah, you probably actually need to. Yeah, I've got my big stupid special edition pre-ordered.
But they're never going to break records, and they're never going to kick the goals or tick the boxes, if you will, that they were going to if that was going to be the issue. I reckon they've won enough, and they'll just break day one records left, right, and fucking centre for any first party release on the PlayStation.
Totally.
Looking forward to it. All right. So there's rumours floating around, thanks to I think it was a Polish website, that Battlefield 5, which is also another little headline, slated for release 26th of October, I believe, this year, is going to be based on World War One.
Yeah, good.
So none of this futuristic shit. So basically, it was put up on a website, as most things get leaked. It was a listing for Merschfehler Takt Shooter in One, which translates to multiplayer tactical shooter in the First World War.
Awesome.
So it still lend itself very much to the battlefield. You still have your planes, you still have your tanks, but no futurized weapons and bullshit APCs and everything like this. Strip it back to bare bones, and I'm more interested in this than anything that Activision has to release.
Yeah, well, I mean, for a while there, when they were all just World War games, I was getting sick of it, and I wanted something more modern or futuristic. We've got that, and we've got that a lot.
For a decade.
Yeah, so now I really want them to go back to something old school. I would enjoy that.
Yeah, count me in.
Awesome. Sounds good. All right, we've managed to get through the news?
Yep.
Geez, we're making good time. Let's do What's That Sound?
All right.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Okay, so last week's What's That Sound was, in fact, this one here. Have a listen. And that one read... Beg your pardon?
Was Skyrim.
Skyrim?
That's why Andrew got it.
Oh, right. Gotcha. Yeah, so Red, you got it in a heartbeat as well, and our lucky listener, Andrew Roy, is the winner. He was the first person to nominate what the sound was. The winner of the Captain America little plushie toy here that we worked out was 18 centimetres.
Yes.
So there.
And that's because he entered on the Sunday.
Yes, he got in straight away when the podcast comes up every Sunday, and he got in straight away. So if you're listening to this on Sunday, what will be the date? Sunday the 6th of March, then just pause it now. Well, not now. Wait till you hear this week's sound. Pause it and send in your answer if you know it, and you'll win something fantastic. I'll give... let me have a look. What have we got this week? This one's not too hard, but I'll give away a significant prize for this one as well. Some form of little statue or whatever. I'll give that away. I don't know what yet. So we'll give something cool away for this one. Ready for this week's sound, Red?
Yep.
Have a listen.
Great! Nice one.
No.
No? No idea?
Nah.
Great! Nice one.
I think there's enough of the voice in there for somebody that knows the game to pick, but I don't think it's Googleable. Can you Google "great, nice one"? Nah, I don't think so. Not that I've tried. Give it a go. But that's this week's What's That Sound. If you guys think, guys or gals, think you know what this week's sound is, then send us a message to our Aussie Gamers Express Facebook page, a private message saying, "LewkOne, I think this sound this week for episode 116 is X," and if you are right, it's not X by the way, we will send you, give us your postal address in Australia as well, and we'll send out a little trinket, video game related, and I'm sure you'll be happy with whatever it is. First person only is going to get that. Subsequents might just get a free game on Steam or something like that. There you go. He's have another listen to this one before we finish the segment.
Great! Nice one.
There you go. No idea, Red?
The bass in nice one.
Yeah, that's where you'll get it. If anyone gets it, it'll be from that.
Great! Nice one.
All right, cool. Let's pack up for What's That Sound, and we'll drive down to the pub. I'll drive, man. You'll shout.
No worries. So I've cheated once again because we have absolutely awesome people to follow us on the page, get amongst it. So Luke It was almost insisted that it was generated for you, but you get given stats and you choose people based on how much they deserve it.
That's
and you
right,
put up that
because
post once a week, so you're not picked by a computer, you're picked by a computer then, Luke. So
yes, a man chooses and a slave obeys.
correct. I know that too. So those three people that are covered in that, which is just purely focused on interactions on the page. Jared Peatley, once again, mate, not a computer. Andrew Roy, we were just talking about him and his sexual tendencies towards the male generation population. And Brendan Beaver Thompson. Beaver we've been playing with for a few weeks now, so he's been amongst it, and he's a true Aussie gamer, and we're happy to have him aboard, and we know he's a listener, so we don't take any of that for granted. Ross Mark reared his head. I think he's been a little bit busy. I actually have him as a personal friend. That's how it can go sometimes with people from the page and that listen to the podcast and follow the streams. We do tend to make a few personal friends out of it, and I know he's been busy, but good to see him back again, and I know he listens, and I hope all's going well for you. And also another avid page goer and podcast listener and gamer extraordinaire, Ashley Burnsy Burns deserves another mention. He hasn't had one for a good month or so, but he's popped his head up on the page again, and once again, it's much appreciated. A lot of these names I'm starting to associate with you, and I actually just feel like I know you because I don't know how do they spell their last name, or because I take notice. So yeah, cheers, boys. Thanks very much.
Good stuff. Red, that segment is so you. You do so well with that.
Oh, because it's heartfelt. I mean it. Oh, well, I don't have a heart. If it was heartfelt, I'd have to have one. But it's there's a bit of passion there because I do appreciate it, because we wouldn't be able to do what we do without these guys' support, and they wouldn't get what they get if it wasn't for your support. So I'm a very happy boy. So.
Very good. You do it well. You do a good job. Thank you very much. So there's my shout to you, Red. Good on you, champion.
Cheers, fella.
All right. Well, that's it. Any last words?
We fucking managed to rein it back in.
We did, man. We're only like 2 minutes over at this stage. I don't know how the fuck we did that, but we flew through it. We did well. Nice work.
Yeah, something to look forward to. I was going to... I have it prepared, but I'm going to give myself an extra week. We've been playing a game. There's an embargo attached to it, but I'm going to use a different tongue to give a bit of an audible review. So I have a rough copy and practice it. Oh, what does yours? You know, I just want to get it down pat a little bit more so I can and get into it. So look forward to that. And the embargo is probably 11th, so probably 2 shows from now.
Yeah, it's the 11th is the embargo. So no, so this show's...
we can record it next week, yeah.
Yeah, we record it next week, and it'll be released after the embargo. So all good. All right, well, without any further ado, I don't really have any last words except for thank you, Red, and thank you everyone for listening. And we'll catch you guys next week. And for the record, I have been LewkOne.
And I'm still Red.
This week's show has sadly come to an end. Be sure to search for Aussie Gamers Express on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, iTunes, and just about every other social network known to man. If you have any snail mail you want to send us, shoot it over to P.O. Box 130, Cranebrook 2749. Catch you all next time on the Aussie Gamers Express Video Game Podcast.